Hi guys, this is Taylor and I'm coming to you from a very non-traditional lighting situation. I haven't had the opportunity to film all week and so I'm just doing it at night and I hope you don't mind. Hopefully it feels kind of cozy, question mark. I mean, I have actual lights in this room, but this is how I light it when I'm just hanging out by myself. So hopefully it feels like we're just hanging out, having a little chit chat, maybe. Anyway, I'm here today with the intimidating TBR Pile Tag. I was tagged by Amanda from Amanda Center, who, like you guys, knows that my TBR is absolutely out of control. I counted specifically for this video. I now have over 200 unread books in my TBR. Seriously. If you'd like to know what my TBR looks like physically, I will link my Stacks of Shame video below. Basically, this tag is very apt. Question number 1 is, what book have you been unable to finish? The one that weighs perhaps most heavily on my conscience is Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. I first picked this up when I was a wee bab. I was not ready for it comprehension-wise. I remember reading this for an hour and only getting 10 pages in, and I had no idea what had just gone on in those 10 pages. It's something that would not be as challenging for me now as it would be when I was, 13, but it still carries the weight of that previous experience with it, and it still scares me a whole lot. Question number 2 is, what book have you yet to read because you just don't have the time? For this one, I went with Moby Dick by Herman Melville. With larger, denser classics, I usually have to plan out and designate a specific chunk of time to read them, because otherwise I get into this weird reading limbo with them, and I'm reading them on and off for like 2 years, and that's not really the most rewarding experience for me. I know for a fact that I'm not going to have the time or the motivation to spend on Moby Dick anytime in the immediate future, at least. Question number 3 is a book you haven't read yet because it's a sequel. And this question made me realize just how few series I read. Correct me if I'm wrong, correct me if you know me better than I know me, but I think the only series that I'm currently in the middle of is Vampirates. And I hate to keep giving this series publicity, but it's the sad, strange truth. This is the last book in the series, and as soon as I read it, the curse is lifted, Dobby is free, and I can go back to being the person I was before. Question 4 is a book that you've yet to read because it's brand new. You're gonna get a little bit of a haul preview because this is brand spanking new and beautiful. This is, of course, Shelter by Jung Yoon. I heard about this from a couple of people, but mostly from Joss from Squibbles Reads. I've heard that this works well as a companion or possibly even a counter to The Vegetarian by Han Kang, so really excited to read it. Prob's gonna read it real soon. But yeah, this for now is like really intimidatingly new. It's still got that Barnes & Noble smell. Question 5 is a book that you've yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it. And yep, Ishiguro. It's not that I didn't enjoy Never Let Me Go, it's just that I know what kinds of writing styles I personally like, and his very kind of slow, nostalgic writing style is not really for me. Apparently though, The Buried Giant is a huge departure for him, so I figured it's still worth a shot. Also, it would be way too pretty to donate. And I bought this at the Yale bookstore when I visited Yale, so it has some prestigious kind of heritage going on. Question 6 is a book you haven't read because you're just not in the mood for it. I have gone with Nabokov's Lolita. I definitely have to be in a specific mood to pick up something that is really dense with writing that I really need to savor, and I just haven't been feeling that way lately. I have those moments, definitely, but I haven't been experiencing too many of them lately. Also, the content is disturbing, and that takes a certain mindset as well. One day, Lolita, but not today. Question 7 is a book you haven't read because it's humongous. That for me is going to be The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt, which I'm not even going to pick up because it's like at the bottom of my last stack and it's like really seriously too big. I said this when I hauled it, but I know in my heart that it will be literal years before I read The Goldfinch. I know it, I accept it, and I ultimately live with it. Question 8 is a book you haven't read yet because it was a cover buy that turned out to have bad reviews, and I feel personally victimized by this question because it is so relatable. However, I think I've eliminated all the books from my TBR that just had really bad reviews after I bought them. Instead, I've gone with Nashville Chrome by Rick Bass, which was absolutely a cover buy, but the difference is that I just haven't heard anything about it. I don't know even a vague plot synopsis. I've never heard anybody talk about it. I'm not familiar with the author at all. It's just one of those huge gamble things. Oops. Question 9 is, what is the most intimidating book in your TBR? And it used to be Murakami's 1Q84, but then I read it. Can you even believe that? I read a book in my TBR that really scared me. Who am I? So now it's definitely Martin Duberman's Black Mountain, An Exploration in Community. This is all about the short-lived educational experiment that was North Carolina's Black Mountain College, and it is so much bigger than I thought it was going to be, and the writing is small and the text itself is dense, and it's all about learning communities, and I feel faint. But it is on my 2016 TBR, so And question 10 is, who do you tag? And I'm not going to tag anyone specifically. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who has a really bad, infamous TBR like myself. But if that's you, please feel free to do this tag. I hope you're having a great day or night, and I'll see you soon. Bye!